Duel, the unofficial and irresponsible guide for DMs, GMs, and just wanna BMs and other folks also. This is a podcast where we answer questions and talk about role-playing games such as Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, but mostly from the DM perspective. Hopefully other people enjoy it, but yeah. I'm Spencer Crittenden from Harmontown, and I was on an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
You are?
And I'm sitting here with my buddy...
Hey, I'm Cohen Edenfield. I'm from the internet, and also I went to graduate school.
I guess I'm kind of from the internet, but not from graduate school.
Oh, well, 1 out of 2.
I keep meditating. I feel like the more I spend time thinking about my life, the more I'm like, you are a person who is extremely online, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, me too, though. Like, I'm to the point where I'm losing followers because... I don't have like a day job right now, and that means that I have too much time to tweet.
Yeah.
And so it's like pretty steady about every 40 minutes. That's too much.
Yeah.
People don't like that shit.
It's like I shouldn't know everything that's always happening on every corner of the internet and the world.
Yeah. It's like people bring you stuff. It's like I got tired of the discourse of that 7 weeks ago.
Yeah, and
I can't have this conversation with you right now.
Yeah, I can't explain this to you because it's like that's how I feel like anytime anyone brings anything up to me and it's like, yeah, you didn't hear about the bridge?
It's like, did you see this? It's like I'm already tired of the meta conversation about the memes about this.
Yeah, I'm sick of people critiquing the way the memes are rolling out.
Like 45 minutes after waking up, I'm like, it's like I've already picked up my phone, taken in like the new thing, and I'm already by the 4th take, and it's like I don't care that a goat got loose.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it.
Yeah, it's like someone let them out or they didn't. I mean, there's goats. They exist.
They persist. There's persistence of goats, even if I don't know about it, they get out.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we doing?
I just wanna start up. I don't know. Do you got anything? You're a DM, so
yeah.
You DM'd anything you want to talk about?
We were supposed to play yesterday, but we had to cancel. And I was supposed to play in a game yesterday, but which was the thing that I had to cancel for, but then that got canceled too.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, but in both cases it was like because like one or two people couldn't do it, and that's I got a thing coming up in the game that I'm DMing. I'm doing it tomorrow. They sort of finished the first beat, like the first arc, kind of, which was like 5 or 6 sessions, and now I'm a little nervous because I'm funneling them into like here's the place you'll be going to through between missions, and it's like a whole
time.
Yeah, and it's like a cross universe thing. So this is like sort of a place that exists outside of anything, and it's I'm not quite sure how I want to play it still, but
okay. So I don't want to give any spoilers, but this is the campaign. I mean, are you comfortable saying?
Oh yeah, it's the Sonic the Hedgehog. Everybody plays as Sonic OCs.
So is it in the Chow Garden?
Yeah, it's
maybe a Chow Garden.
It's the island from Lost.
Pushing pretty hard for this Chow Garden.
Okay, all right, you got it. I got it. There's the character has a talking automaton. That's awesome. That's their like magical familiar. And it's Seth Boyer, who's actually a musician, and so he's out here, he's doing the music for the podcast.
I kind of want to learn how to use an automaton.
It screams. It's like the thing where you push down on the ducks and you let them go, and they're like,
they're really fun. Yeah. It's kind of like a theremin a little bit.
You gotta have perfect pitch?
No, a theremin.
That's what Hannibal Lecter said.
Yeah,
that you have to have perfect pitch for
a theremin, or for he said it about the automaton.
He's like, Will. Look at this. No, he said you have to have perfect pitch to play the theremin, but I think Hannibal Lecter is just really used to being perfect at everything. And he's like, oh, I have a perfect palate. That must be why I'm so good at making frozen yogurt.
He's certainly been rewarded for not being average.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, we still got this light that's going to kill us going. I don't know if
that wasn't clear last time. It's super clear. There's a what would you call it? It's a fluorescent
light. And
at some point it's going to explode. But I think it's going to hit the plastic thing under it before it hits us.
Yeah, and then it'll melt through, and then we can escape. Yeah, I haven't. We didn't play D&D last few times on Harmontown, and so that's been a bummer. It's always really frustrating because I still prepare, even if we don't end up playing, because I don't know that we're not going to play.
Do you do new notes?
Yeah, but also I just like kind of reinvigorate my ideas, and like sometimes I elaborate or rejigger stuff.
That can screw you up though, because I had a DM who we were supposed to, like, we kept having to move back.
Yeah.
Like when we were playing, and so when we finally did it, like we were like, oh, we're going to break into this small monastery and like get like free somebody, but because he had like 2.5 months to prep it out, it became like a six story building, like this enormous keep with a gladiator pit and also like a weird sonic trap. That was kind of neat. Like we had to like get these earplugs from people because it's like every 5 minutes, it was like a prison, and every 5 minutes it was just this, in the halls everywhere a prisoner wouldn't be allowed to be, there was just this like wave of sonic energy that like would like knock you out unless you had these earplugs.
That's cool.
It was cool. And like it was the acoustics of the place, because it was just thin layers of like copper or something, or iron that were like vibrating, and so we had to like disable it. It was neat.
Yeah, that sounds cool. What else do I got? I feel like I have rotator cuff tendinitis. That's my self-diagnosis. I have a shoulder hurty, and that's been lame. And I'm trying not to smoke pot because I noticed that coughing was exacerbating it. So
you should get into disposable vapes.
Oh, I use vaping. I cough more with vaping than like any other form of weed, even more than smoking.
Interesting.
Yeah. So don't do drugs.
We're in California. Do all the drugs you want.
All you 14-year-old listeners, don't do drugs.
Oh, yeah. And
we're going to play really hard to the middle school crowd this podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't do drugs.
Stay in
always
school.
do your homework.
Yeah.
In fact, do your homework twice.
Yeah.
And turn in the better one. Do A/B testing for your homework.
What's it? That's
like a thing.
A statistical
it's
regression
like,
or something.
It's like an internet thing when like Instagram models will put up 2 pictures and see which one is better.
Whoa.
And then like they're like, okay, people like this got more engagement. They're probably like companies who do it, but I mostly know about it from Instagram models.
Yeah.
All right, what do we
I guess we got to start with our first segment.
Is it Helga Crucible?
Helga Cruciform.
Helga Cruciform.
You named it.
Yeah, my daughter.
Helga Cruciform, the nameless segment. That's what we're doing. This is a segment where we riff some names. DMs sometimes have to riff names when they are forced to improvise. So,
yeah, what's the shopkeeper's name?
Jerry.
And his daughter, what's her name?
Morty.
Jerry and Morty.
Yeah, both characters from Rick and Morty.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so you can riff just as well as that, maybe, with practice. We're professionals. So we're going to riff some names. Okay. You can riff some, too. You could tweet them at us, at MasterManualPod. Did you have something to say?
I just have to put a moratorium on this. No, none based on the Kettle One bottle. None based on the Dr. Pepper can.
I would go so far to say if we could avoid anything that we're just looking at as a basis.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a rule, but it's a good direction. Do you want to start? I think you might have started last time. I don't remember.
Yeah.
If you want to start, go for it.
Okay. Blindfold Pete.
Oh, man.
Because I was thinking about what I would have to do to keep myself from looking around the room and taking inspiration.
Ron Perry, because I thought of Ron Jeremy, and I was like, nope.
Jeremy Ronalds.
Davalon the Ultimate.
Davalon the Ultimate?
Yeah.
Is he a dragon?
I
always think he's a dragon.
I think, aren't dragon names more crazy?
All right. You know what? Let's name some dragons.
Okay.
You first.
Okay. Zarthic's mom.
Thirsty Tom.
Oh, wow. Blood Culling the Ultimate. Okay, nope, I can't keep doing
Blood Culling the Ultimate?
He's related to Davalon.
Oh, okay. Lightning Luke.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, Thirsty Tom and Lightning Luke were actually 2 dragons from a campaign I wanted to run.
That's fair.
Thirsty Tom was a Kraken, and Lightning Luke was the blue dragon who was like the warden of Thirsty Tom's desert prison that was a whole plane. And it was like there were train tracks that were forming the cage of the Kraken, and they were like the only modern thing in this old weird West setting.
That sounds fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, I should run that campaign sometime.
You can like write modules at this is something that I don't know how to do, but people approach me as if it's something that's normal for people to do. But you can like convert adventures into campaign modules and like sell them or something. I don't know.
I wrote like that was my first campaign I was ever going to DM, and I wrote so much, and we played one time, and then 8 people, and then never again. I was like, I can never use this again, but I totally could get that back up.
Charles, the Blue Dragon.
Oh, hey, I know that. I know him.
Yeah.
Chucky Drags.
Chucky Drags.
The Dragon Wizard.
Okay. Stoodle Flimp Sterowitz.
Is this also a dragon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like one, though.
Kierkegaard, the Uncertain.
That one's good. Kytheon. That's a character from Magic. Dang it.
What's that backwards?
Onykythe.
Onykythe. There you go.
It's not that backwards, but I'll count
close enough.
Yeah. Lightning round. This has been a lightning round, but lightning around.
Okay. Brittle Steve.
Wide Steve.
Bonemancer.
Total Man.
Electric Holocaust.
Flary Woods.
The Future Mistake.
Bastard Executioner.
Registeel. That's a Pokemon. I give up.
That's great. No, that's great. Okay, so that's the end of Helga Cruciform. Let us know who you think won this round. If you riffed some cool names, hit us up. Hopefully someday we could like give a couple good like names that people riffed or something.
Yeah. Hit us up and we'll get back to you in 1 month.
Yeah, it'll be. I think probably our buffer will shrink pretty quick.
Yeah, probably fairly quickly.
So let's crack into some of these questions then, huh?
Oh, cracking like Thirsty Tom. All right. Okay. Yeah, let's establish our bona fides. What do we got?
Snoop Dage asks, or Snoop Dage on Instagram asks, how do you get better at voice acting / not make it sound cheesy? So do you do a lot of voice acting in your DMing? Or do you play?
I haven't had a ton of NPCs in like the session I've been playing most recently, but yeah, I do. Like I do a voice. Like I tend to just
give an example or anything.
Okay,
no,
well,
I'm not trying to pimp you, but
I'll definitely go into a Southern accent quickly. That's sort of my. In fact, when I was on this thing recently, I was on, I was supposed to be playing a British character, and about 10 minutes into that 3-hour thing, I've quickly just made him Southern. But I do impressions when I watch shows a lot.
That's cool.
I'll just like, cause like it's interesting to me to pick up on, here's what's this character's, not just like the tone of their voice, but like how they construct sentences and stuff. So I'll just talk in that character's like character style.
Right.
And I that is something I don't want to do on the spot, but I don't know.
That's fine. You don't have to.
Okay,
I wasn't trying to. I just wanted to hear, like, and also you're a player. Do your DMs do voices?
A little bit. A little bit. I would say
less than you, maybe.
Probably, but I mean, like Rich, for instance, like plays more. He has more characters to work with. I'd say he more like changes, like less than doing like accents. He does like the personality is very different.
Yeah,
and if you can convey a different personality, I feel like you can do a lot with just a different tone of voice.
Right.
Just if you're doing a different tone of voice and they're using different words or have like a different mood. And like maybe they're half insulting without realizing it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's little things you can do that go a lot farther than puts
like
the
having
car into space.
Catchphrases or something.
Yeah, catchphrases are good.
Like Hallmark, like character. You're injecting character into the character.
They talk about the things that they care about.
Right. Like that's crazier than the forest because I'm an elf. No,
that's crazier than my favorite thing, the woods.
That's more than there are leaves. Yeah, no, I don't know. So I got one voice. It's the gnome voice. Yeah. That's like the only I can do like a lower, gruffier voice, and then I do the gnome voice.
Do the voice when you were when you were like Lucifer, when you were like the Lucifer rabbit cat guy. When you were like, you can't kill me because nothing can kill me.
I can't kill me because nothing can kill me, and you're gonna fucking die, and you guys suck.
It was sort of like that.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it was.
It was like more bored.
Yeah,
and that was like.
I do that. I feel like I have more like reserved kind of character. I don't know. I was just trying to think about this, and I think a lot of my characters are pretty similar, which is just kind of like bored, detached, sick of this, and
which
too
is
cool
very
for it.
funny in this. It's the juxtaposition of that with like, yep, this is my Luciferian sword of hell.
Yeah,
it's blue, and that's like that's kind of your DM style too. And it's like that's a really funny contrast with like the fantastical things happening.
But I want to say that I don't do it so much anymore. I mean, I've been preparing a lot less content lately, but I know in Harmon Quest, and I abandoned all of it, and then before on Harmontown, like I had voices for a lot of characters that I like put thought into and like practiced. And then when we were just playing, I just didn't do any of it.
It's just so much harder if you're. I feel like that's a whole skill.
Well, you're reading, and so you need to put like a cue to say go into accent or something because it's hard.
So bad at like not. I am bad at like I need to write a speech for this character.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times I will just. Like, okay, I had this character. I'll be like, okay, I'll get a couple of phrases to work in, but like, I almost never like, oh, this guy's gonna have a speech ready.
Yeah, I never, unless it's like pipe for an adventure or like a hint. Yeah. I will basically only do the most relevant stuff, and then only snap into that when they like lock. Like, if it's,
heroes, you may have slit my throat, but the Demon King will still rise.
Yeah,
like that kind of,
or like, oh man. You got to see this. There's this guy. He's giving out crazy balloons. They're exploding and shooting fire all over the place. But then, like, he doesn't start with that. You talk to him like a normal person. And then if there's anything that little, like, kind of cues me into it, then I'll snap into my prepared dialogue. But rarely do I have too much or more than, say, 3 or 4 lines because they never ask the questions.
Yeah, no, they're going to ask whatever.
Yeah.
It's not, that's the easier thing about writing video games is you get to write both sides of the conversation. And it's like, oh, it can go a lot of different ways, but it's going to thread back to the middle or whatever. It's like, you don't have to count on the fact that because they're going to come in, they're going to be like, haha, with this running joke with the talking pickle. And maybe you're its dad. Haha. Did you prepare a speech for that? It's like, you bet your ass.
Finite options. It's a great thing about video games. It's a great weakness. Infinite options is one of the cool things about RPGs.
Yeah. So I guess, did we help?
Yeah, I mean, that was just like what we do, right? I don't know how to get really better other than practice. But
yeah, I mean, go down to UCB. Take a fucking improv. Take an accents class.
I think there's like accent like classes online and stuff that give you little hints.
If as long as you stay in like the European area, just watch some old bad comedy movies. I'm sure fake accents are like a common thing.
Sure.
Just stay don't be an asshole.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
It's neat. Kate's been playing what's that game with the robot dinosaurs from the future?
What?
It's like in the future, and you're like hunting robots who are dinosaurs and like
Lost Planet.
No, it's
Infinite. No. God. Horizon Zero Dawn.
That is it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All 3 of those times I was trying to do Horizon Zero Dawn, but I just got the wrong one.
It's just. It doesn't mean anything, and it's hard for me to remember titles that don't mean anything. Like I remembered Edge of Tomorrow like nothing, but Live Die Repeat, because that should have been the title of the movie originally. They changed it when they released it on DVD.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
It was smart because it's a better title.
I mean, it's a crazy thing to happen.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we fucked up.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow's bad.
But she's been playing that, and it's neat because like Ashley Birch is the main voice actor,
right? And
she's great. But it's like I've seen her in stuff since like she was like Borderlands 2, and she used to do Hey Ash, What You Playing with Anthony Birch, and like it's weird because it's like she's definitely doing a character, but something is still coming through that it's like, oh, that obviously it still sounds like her, but it's like you can tell they're doing a lot with that material, and that kind of, but it's still just kind of her voice. I'd say don't work as hard on accents as you do on like
character.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, maybe take a voice acting class.
Yeah, maybe. or even just like
or look up tips.
Like some notes on like mood.
Right.
I would say prepare those. It's like this shopkeeper is kind of, this shopkeeper has something on his mind and is distracted.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, or this guy has rats in his basement. And maybe just do it. Maybe just do the whole thing as if this guy has rats in his basement. Do the Who's Line thing.
Right. That's like that's also an improvising tool. Is that you pick a random item, sometimes a random item that you can see, and then you tag an aspect of that item. So I'm looking at a door, and it's white. So I'll just say like white, and then so it's like then you play the character whatever your interpretation of that word is. So let's not do white because race.
I was looking
but you
at
can play
like,
a character white. Like that's true.
A door, you could this character is very closed off.
Right. So
or this window, this character is very transparent.
Right. White, I think we're safe.
Yeah.
We're both white, right?
Yeah.
I think that's safe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But truly, like that's like an improv technique to like give whatever you're doing some kind of action or energy to it. And I think that gives character to any character. So I mean that's a good technique.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully that answers your question.
I would say, just give them focus more on character than accents.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I guess it's time to crack into our next segment.
Oh boy, love this one.
This is one of these newer segments. One of these.
Yeah, this is.
I know we've been rolling out all these new segments lately.
Yeah, it's that's what puts butts in the seats, puts buds in the ears.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's smart. That's like really good. I mean,
Thank
this
you.
is why you got a master's degree.
Yeah, I got it in pithy phrases.
This is a segment we call Loot Table or Brute Fable, unless we come up with a different name.
I like it for now.
I like it.
All right, well, I did it first last time, so you gotta roll.
All right, this is a bit where we roll some dice, randomly determine like a monster or a trap or like an NPC or something, magic item, and then we're gonna try and riff it on the spot using these randomized criteria. So I'm gonna roll a d6.
Yeah.
Which I did.
You got
a 6, which is magic.
I think that's a 5.
Oh. Yep.
Sorry.
Man, I need new glasses. That's terrifying.
No, I do
so
too.
5, which is a cursed item.
Oh,
got a cursed item.
All right, I'm using my Golden Thread app, which is it gives you a tarot card every day.
We're going to pull a random tarot card.
All right, so you've got the Page of Swords reversed, which here's the description of that. Your enthusiasm and energy has turned you into a bit of an annoyance. There is the chance that you have perhaps been so excited to create or do something that you have planned poorly, leading to setbacks. Alternatively, your promises have not lived up to their expectations. There's a sense of disappointment setting in around you. This is hastiness, rushing through things, being all talk. Also, I like the annoyance thing.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right. What do you got?
So that to me is it's a singing sword. Singing sword, like an intelligent item. Intelligent items in D&D often have like egos and personalities, and they can cause problems for players because they're like super powerful magic items that know that they're awesome and that they're sought after by.
They're the ones in demand,
right?
Yeah,
and so
it's a swords market out there,
right? So it's a singing sword, which is like an awesome thing, but it's cursed, which you don't know because you think it's a singing sword, because like what it does is it talks about how impressive it is, and it has a high opinion of itself, and it talks a lot of shit, but like it really is bad.
It's not a good sword.
Like you have disadvantage on all attack rolls or something.
Oh damn! What is a singing sword normally?
It's just it's a sword, like it's a talking sword, but instead of talking, it sings.
Okay,
usually,
but that's already a thing.
A singing sword's a fantasy trope. I don't know if it's a D&D item specifically. I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
I do like the idea of a song that's singing bullshit odes to itself loudly and is like getting you into fights, but is just not good at that at all.
Yeah.
So why do they keep it? Are they forced to hold on to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the way it spins itself is that like it's doing good, or maybe even like the curse is that it looks like you're doing a great job.
Oh yeah, so
that's also a precedented like curse. So I don't know. Let's go with it.
I think like a sword that like tells you of its power,
right?
And then like because you could play that with you could mess around with like the interface of it. It's like you do 35 damage.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, and then it's like you keep doing that.
And he's not dying.
Yeah. And it's like, what is this? Why is this goblin so strong?
500 health.
Yeah. And then it's like after maybe 5 or 6 rounds, they roll a insight check.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, if they roll, it's like, yeah, you haven't been doing that much damage.
Yeah.
Or it's like, make a will save. It's like mind controlling you to make you think you're, and also maybe you're not actually attacking a goblin.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you're like attacking people, or that might be too much.
I think that one is a precedented one where it needs to seek blood or something. That might be a curse that exists.
That's for sure. Like I that's like the Tetsaiga, or not
right.
The Tetsaiga. It's the other one.
Tenseiga.
Is that the other one?
I don't know.
Oh,
there's Tetsaiga and Tenseiga, I think.
Is
this Inuyasha?
It is Inuyasha.
I knew the swords' names before I knew what they were from.
Okay, yeah, Tenseiga. So Tetsaiga is Inuyasha's sword. It's the 2 swords made from his dad's fangs. His dad was a wolf. He has Tetsaiga. His brother Naraku, I want to say.
I couldn't tell you.
Has Tenseiga, and like the swords are like fang. The fangs are swords, and they have a personality. Like when he uses his demon form, the sword gets like heavier and crappier because it doesn't want him to be a demon.
Oh,
but
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's like a classic example of an intelligent item. That's an item that has its own goals and its own will. Yeah. Do you wanna go?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to roll again or use the same roll?
I'll roll again.
All right. Reaching for the dice.
All right. Yeah.
You're gonna have to read it to me.
I got a 3.
That's arms and armor.
Ooh. Okay. So help me out. What is?
That's like greaves, or like a sword or a shield or a plate mail, not like a ring or a necklace or like a apparatus of qualish.
Okay.
Ever full urn.
Okay, I got
arms and armor.
So stuff you wear. Okay, strength. I got strength. I drew strength reversed. Self-doubt, weakness, and insecurity. Recent obstacles have created some insecurity about your abilities. A feeling of not being ready for the challenges that life gives you predominates this reversed cards. What parts of yourself are you feeling ashamed of? Although it may be counterintuitive, acknowledging your vulnerabilities may be a sign of inner strength. Okay,
sure.
I think I want to take it that way. It's armor that looks ripped and torn.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it makes you look like you have like big gaping wounds. It's sort of, I guess it's sort of the opposite of the other sword. Is like it makes you look like you've been hurt very badly, and so it makes you look like an easy target. And so it's like they might be trying to attack your vulnerable spots, and you have an advantage because it's like, oh, those are actually the most armored places. Like, but the downside is because you look like such an easy target, you're probably getting attacked more by like bandits.
Right.
Like you look like easy prey.
So rules wise, that's like you get prioritized as a target for attacks, but you have advantage on saving throws or something.
Yeah, maybe they even have like disadvantage on attacks.
Right. That might be better.
So it's like that's a huge boon. But like the metagame effect would be like you get in twice as much random encounters, and like, oh, you always have aggro, or
right,
like they want it, like they attack you more than. Sometime I want to talk to you about how you choose and manage like how monsters attack.
Cool. Do you want to talk about that right now?
Yeah. How do you do that?
I try to do strategy. So it's like oftentimes magical characters get focused just because it's like I don't know what's going to happen, you know? So oftentimes if they're smart enough to identify that someone's a magic user, they target.
So that's something you take into consideration is like how smart they are.
Yeah, the tactics of the fighters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I will also just roll randomly, and I'll also try to spread it around, and I'll also use proximity. Like, it would be strange to exit an engagement with
once they
combat.
Start a fight,
right,
they're kind of doing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't, like, run out of this room to go fight someone else when I'm fighting you. So, like, just I try to make it, like, be coherent for the participants is my stance.
And I guess if they have like a whole thing they do, like a bar guest, they teleport and they like create like a gate, so like them attacking and then going to attack someone else or disappearing is part of their deal.
Yeah, there are, mobility based things, or like guerrilla fighters, and the monster tactics, NPCs are different, but monsters sometimes will give you hints on what kind of tactics they use, and so I don't know. Also, a lot of times it falls apart in combat because I'm like, what's happening? Whose turn is it? So it's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to keep up, but yeah.
I think I thought of a name for the armor.
Oh, yeah.
It would be called Fail Mail.
Yeah. Man. We're fucking clicking.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I like that. All right, so...
and I got one for the sword if you want it. The Swordid tail.
It's not as good, but I really like it.
I just want to...
Fail mail's too good.
I want the wiki to have a name for every entry. I don't want it to be like unnamed sword.
Yeah, no, that's really
5.
smart. I think that we should
It's very narcissistic, but it's the kind of thing that drives me crazy.
I think it's categorizing content for
hell yeah.
easy curation.
Yeah, also for that module we'll put out one day.
Yeah, but you know what? It's time for a break.
Oh shit, it is. Time to keep the lights on. Do you have trouble keeping your dice from rolling all over the table?
Are your dice dirty or just unkempt?
Get a dice clamp. Dice clamps are powerful magnets you can attach to your dice. Well, my dice are metal, or powerful magnets, or
that even attract plastic.
Yeah, polyferrous.
Polyferrous's dice magnets are what you need to keep your dice kempt and unmessy,
and keep them from rolling all over the table. These 16-pound weights will hold your dice firmly in place,
and they look great,
and they're absolutely permanent.
And they make perfect gifts. You could leave them as paperweights. Honestly, they make a great centerpiece.
Yeah, they're about the size of a shoe, each one. So you can get a set of 7 for $350.
And we actually have a special that you can order 14 for $600.
Oh, yeah. For you and your partner. For that 2-person D&D session you're playing.
Honestly, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're burning money if you don't go for the full 14.
In this economy, I would really like it if you could just grow up and not buy this.
Right.
I mean, come on, get your life on track.
We're sick of this. You know, it's time to cut the BS.
A penny saved is
Knock
a penny
it the fuck
earned.
off.
Yeah, drag yourself out of the gutter.
Polyferrous's dice clamps. Get this fucking shit.
Keep your dice on lock. Today.
And we're back.
I sure did enjoy that suite of products.
Yeah, man. And just as always, please.
Click through.
Please.
We don't make any money unless you read the article.
If we don't sell 48 dice clamps, we are fucked.
Yeah, I'm in deep to some bad people who live in Seattle.
Yeah, man.
All right. Okay, time for another question?
Yeah, time for me to have just lost my questions on accident.
No.
I feel bad.
You'll find them. Hold on, I'll roll a d20.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, 15.
Once we stop taking questions off Instagram, and by the way, you can email us questions, mastermanualpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
This won't happen, but until then, it will.
You can also add us on Twitter.
How do you do that?
At mastermanualpod.
Hell yeah.
Just send us an @ message when you follow. Also, please follow.
Yeah, man. Check us out everywhere.
I need a second follower count to have ego issues about.
Yeah, I can. I don't want to even think about that. All right. Billy Kennedy I asks, on Instagram asks, okay, so what if players are having trouble getting into the RP aspect of the game? Like people who don't know where to start? Any advice for them? I know it's a bit of an esoteric question. Well, that was maybe for me, actually. Yeah, any advice for people who don't know the RP aspect of the game or aren't super comfortable with it? That kind of describes me as a player. I'm usually pretty uncomfortable.
So if you were in my game, I would have somebody asking you specific questions. Like, you seem quiet, traveler. What does that barbarian back there think about this?
Mm-hmm.
You just engage with direct aspects of who they are and on the axis of roleplay.
That's great.
It's not often we see a gnome of the trial woods in these parts.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't your king have something to say about this? And they're, then they react based on the prompt that you've given them which is easier than like, you're an elf at the carnival, go.
Yeah, what would an elf do? Elf things. Yeah. No, I think that's really good. That's in the spirit of like, if you don't know what to do, kind of toss things out and get people to act.
Yeah.
And then also it's keeping every separate player kind of involved and bringing everyone into the table. And I think those are both good things.
Yeah, play off the things that help, that like encourage, like, this is more of a player thing than DM thing, but it applies for the DMs too. Play off the role playing of the stuff that they're doing, that other people at the table are doing, and then you're building like a bit, which is easier from like a performance perspective than doing like, it's easier to be in a skit than to do a monologue.
Right.
It's like intimidating if you're like, now I'm in character, and especially if nobody else at the table is doing it first. If nobody, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. So if I would just say that, like, I would maybe, this question to me sounds like maybe everyone's more comfortable metagaming, playing it like a game. And I think one way to cut that out is when they say game actions that they want to do, tell them to describe it in character terms. Like if they're like, I do a search, I want to search the room, be like, well, describe the room. There's like a table, or describe how you want to search it. Do you want to like really tear it apart and like you want to rip the, and maybe even give them some ideas, but let them try and describe it.
I will probably end up saying this every week, but players don't call skill checks. Players say what they want to do, and DMs tell them what to roll, like tell them to do. It's like if you have player, I once heard somebody saying that they're like, oh, well, it's weird because when I play D&D, I just, every room I go into, I'm like perception check. It's like, yeah, that's why that's not how the game is actually played. Like
right.
you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
because it's like it reminds me of like video games I've played where it's like it has like a search for enemies button, and it's like, obviously I'm going to do that every room I walk into,
right?
And that's not really, I don't know, I guess, or you won't because you'll have too many other things. Skyrim had a neat thing. It had like you could like detect life, and then you could see like
enemies.
Yeah, like as like beating hearts in the distance. It was neat.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of answers other than what we said. Like, you just kind of want to keep trying. As a player, I'm not good at that. My advice came from another DM prompting me as a player to try harder to roleplay. So that's the only reason I recommend it. I don't have a lot of personal experience answers. I don't think a lot of what the Harmontown gang does is super in character role playing.
I guess I haven't
in episodes you're in. Yeah,
I haven't listened to the more recent stuff, but the old stuff, there's a lot.
It's better back then. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It gets worse.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're in for a treat. It gets a lot worse. I don't know. Hopefully that answers the question, huh?
Yeah.
Any
no,
last
I think we like don't worry too much. Oh, you know what? Try doing some accents. Try doing some of that character stuff. Really get into character, like from the other question.
Right.
Get into the character on an axis they can engage with.
If you make it more immersive and fun to be play acting in that world, I think you are encouraging more people to do it. So yeah, and that's me. I have this as like a weakness that I don't do it.
Oh, one good thing. Anything they cut out of the Lord of the Rings but put back in the extended edition is a great role playing moment. So. Merry and Pippin finding a bunch of weed, or Legolas and Gimli's drinking contest, that kind of stuff. Just give them stuff to do that doesn't have any immediate like metagame benefit.
Yeah, random shit.
Yeah, it's like, this person challenges you to a drinking contest. Yeah. This guy has like written a book and now he's trying to get you to read it. Just stuff that there's no role to do the right way.
Right. It's just play acting. Yeah. I think that's great. I think that in my DM style, I have a list of random events that happen, and all of them are nonsense that doesn't really have any rules mechanics associated. I don't have any stat blocks set up, and I don't have any purpose for them other than, oh yeah, there's a magical sword salesman or sword polish salesman that gets in a fight with a non-magical sword polish salesman. And then maybe you'll side with one or the other.
Scub versus anti-scub.
Yeah. Essentially. Oh man, Perry Bible Fellowship.
Yeah,
check him out.
I love he'll come out like fucking once a year and be like, "Here you go, peasants."
They fucking love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
I loved that Chris Straub one time did like every pair of, it's like on the first panel it's like a robot who's like happy, and the second it's like a robot in hell. And the third one is like, this is every Perry Bible Fellowship. It's like, yeah, I love it, but yeah, that does about sum it up.
It's good. It's all so good.
Yeah.
And if Chris Straub or Perry Bible Fellowship want to come on the podcast,
Oh, I love Chris. Yeah.
we'll buy another microphone.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is on the C team, the stuff, the Penny Arcade fellows.
Mm-hmm.
It's him and Kate Welch and some other folks.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good. I've watched a few episodes. I'm not at all caught up because they do it for 2 hours a week,
Yeah.
and God only put 24 hours on the clock.
He sure did.
And
She sure did.
Ooh, whoa!
I used both. See,
oh, very
getting
good.
complicated.
I'm proud.
So yeah, I don't know. We let's you want to finish with the last segment, maybe?
Okay, so is it time for aminals?
Yeah, man, it's time for Amlimals or alternate monster lore. See, there's always like variant types of monsters and fantasy races that are in all sorts of books, the Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual, and we're gonna kind of do that sort of thing. We're gonna take a creature and make it different lore to give you some idea of, like, I don't know, maybe you can use it or just get an idea of thinking about stuff.
Popular ones we've done previously have been beach vampires.
People loved it.
Sky mermaids
Went crazy.
What was another one?
Owl bears, bear owls.
Yeah, bear owls that eat lightning and crap thunder. We
Yep.
have mystery mummies.
Mystery mummies.
All right, that was really good. Vampires and mummies were two of our best. I think we should return to the undead.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
All right, I don't know. Are you thinking about liches?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Well, then let's do
How
it.
do we do that?
I don't know. Well, as you know, none of this work is ever pre-planned. So.
No, I mean, you can tell this isn't pre-planned.
Yeah.
So, okay, what are liches? Liches are undead wizards generally. They're wizards that use necromancy to prolong their life.
Yeah. So, I think a key feature of the lich is the phylactery.
Phylactery.
Or more specifically, undead regeneration.
Right.
More generally, I guess, than specifically, is the fact that you can kill a lich, but unless you're able to destroy the
phylactery.
Yeah, the Horcrux vessel. This is all Horcruxes are. The vessel that they've put their soul into. Unless you can destroy that, they will regenerate.
Right.
Within 5 feet of it or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And it takes like a long time. Like they grow back from the skull.
Right. So zombies are mindless undead. Like a lich is like a super smart undead because they retain the intelligence of their past life.
Yeah, and with all their magical power.
Right.
And also, so they just have time to. Usually, they're like older than wizards just get stronger as they go, as they age. So you take a wizard, they're 300, and also they are maybe probably tapping into some weird nexus of death energy,
right,
or something,
because it's hard to become a lich. You usually have to be crazy wizard.
Yeah, and also so there's a lot of failures. There's like Demi Liches and stuff.
Right. Well, I think Demi Liches are actually crazy awesome liches.
Oh, are they? That shouldn't be how that works.
In the epic level handbook from 3.5, there is Demi Liches, and a Demi Lich is essentially just a bejeweled skull.
Oh,
because it's like it's such a powerful lich, like it's just essentially like a mind that's like bound in and then I think all the jewels are like phylacteries or something like that.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, so they're super strong and they're just like a little floating skull.
So okay, I know that there are failed liches. I know that's
yeah, definitely. There's a lot of variants of failed liches.
Let's
So just one more time for the tropes, like crazy wizard, evil wizard, maniac. What was that?
What?
Did you hear that?
Oh,
I heard a scary sound.
Oh, was it this?
Oh yeah, it was.
I dropped
that. Really
on the table.
scared
Sorry.
me. Like
they're heavy die, and it like went up the cord, and you weren't.
It was fine. It was fine. I just thought we were under attack.
Yeah.
I kind of thought the light maybe melted or something.
No, we're safe.
Crazy wizards. What else? Usually evil plotters, like working behind the scenes.
And then they're like, they regenerate even if they're destroyed.
Right. Like they keep coming back.
Okay. So what do we Swede on this? What do we?
Yeah.
Chop and screw.
Yeah.
What do we pimp? There's a lot of.
Make them alive?
What do we cake boss?
What if they're alive?
What if they're good?
Liches. Yeah, okay.
Or what if they're not like evil?
Right. So a big part of liches is that they use necromancy, which is a specific school of magic and generally an evil one because there's positive energy and negative energy, and necromancy uses negative energy. And the thing about negative energy is it's just bad juju. It makes everything worse. So it's evil magic.
A cool thing about the 5th edition is I feel like some of that has been a little bit chilled out,
Mm-hmm.
but it is still definitely like there are evil wizards. There's evil characters.
Yeah.
You can have you can be a necromancer who's not evil, but it's less.
Right.
Okay.
Most people find problems with raising the dead.
Yeah, I mean, people are very squeamish.
Yeah, they're precious.
I mean, that they say that you become civilized at the point that you revere the dead in some degree. Like that is a test of like sapience.
That's interesting.
And it's like, so you get like crows and elephants and stuff.
Huh.
Once you can like conceptualize of a thing living and then dying, and that you might die, is like a whole thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So good liches?
Maybe not good liches.
Okay.
Maybe that's too. What
to
Okay, what if maybe just a different phylactery? What if your phylactery is like conceptual?
Okay, this is I have a pitch.
Okay.
Because this is like an idea I've had. I kind of actually even want to work it into the Harmontown podcast. I don't know how successful I'll be, but and I probably won't, so don't even think about it that way and be surprised. So I have this. There's this book I read. Anyway, it's so hard to explain any of this stuff. I'm gonna cut this whole thing out.
No. They're here to see the sausage get made.
The idea is this isn't even a lich, but I'm just gonna pitch it. This is a magical system by which someone gains powers from other people. We really should just cut this out. I'm not gonna though. So like they called them endowments in the book that I wrote. That I read. And so like there's a guy, you'd get like an endowment of strength. So you would give up your strength and then I would get your strength. And then so like kings would have like hordes of people that gave endowments to them and they'd be super powerful. But then there'd be all these like people that are weakened and stupid and stuff that then were vulnerable and could be attacked to strip the powers of these demagogues.
Oh, neat. So they're like kind of like skill batteries.
Right, exactly. But
I was trying to remember what this reminded me of, and I remember there was a thing on the Netflix anime Seven Deadly Sins where there were these holy knights and they could like channel like the one guy's powers that other people could long distance channel their powers into him.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I want to check that out.
It's got some yikesy kind of stuff occasionally, but
sure.
like there's also really cool powers.
Yeah,
and like people get stuff from drinking demon blood, and it's like there's some cool shit.
I like cool power systems, like cool ways by which like supernatural phenomenon occurs.
Yeah, and it's got kind of like it's like Arthurian legends through the lens of anime.
Yeah,
and that's pretty sick.
That seems cool. Yeah, but so like that was that book, but then my riff on that was like I called them organ lords, but there's different ways to do this. But like these are essentially, it's like a giant brain and a giant heart that like it was way smaller, but it learned how to like it can share. If it was me, I could share your heart, and so like basically by magic the heart would exist in both places at once. But like
that's good.
I would get the power of it, and so you'd have like a weekend version. So then the Heart Lord would gain power by having all these followers like sharing hearts with him, and then there's like the Brain Lord that does all the brain. So it's like the idea there would be that there's all these initiates and followers that give up or share their organs with these masters.
I got this. This is how we keep it lich.
Yeah.
You make a bond. You make a bone bond by cutting off 2 fingers, your pinky and your ring finger, and like this lich has this like thick plating of like knuckle bones covering. He's like the Knuckle Lord or something, and it's just like or like a knucklehead maybe. It's just got this like he's just this huge. It's like a brain covered in knuckle bones, and then it's like channeling powers through that. I like that.
So that's like taking the powers of the finger people that they're
you got to. It's like, in fact, I would say like you might give like the end of a pinky to like get a certain amount of power. It's like that would be the mark of your like how much you're giving up, and like maybe if you're like like a priest, you give up like a whole hand, and so he would have like a ring of hands around, and like maybe you give like your whole arm, and maybe in like the center there's like a ring of skulls that people have like just bonded their soul with it,
right?
And just like died for it, and now are basically like an extra life. And if it were to get destroyed,
right? And so like that to me makes it feel like that's part of like you're worshiping this whatever that poses itself to be like the ultimate form of progress that you merge with or something, but then it's just like just like an undead or some other
it
thing.
just uses you up.
Yeah.
It's capitalism.
Right. It's capitalism.
Yeah.
That just made, because that's vaguely similar to mind flayers, not in a bad way. But mind flayers, their brains kind of connect together or whatever. But
and they have like a thing, right? Don't they have like a big one?
Yeah, the big brain is made out of all the brains.
Oh, neat.
And the idea is the mind flayers are like, I'm going to become one with the big brain, but really they just eat the brains and doesn't know. But what you said made me wonder if mind flayers and capitalism don't have some weird analyzable parallels.
Think because it's like the dream is to get rich, the dream is to merge with the big brain, but actually you just get eaten.
And also mind flayers like don't experience positive emotions. Like the most positive emotion they can feel is like just satisfaction, like just like not happiness,
like just the absence of feeling like you haven't done something.
Right, like this is fine.
This works.
Yeah, this is
good enough.
That's
okay.
As good as they get. So okay, but it's a knuckle lord. No, we need a knucklehead. What was what?
Yeah, knucklehead was the thing. It was like a big brain covered in knuckle bones. I was trying to make it more lichy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like the image. I'm just trying to think of a name. Like when you thought, I don't know, like this is bad. I'm just gonna say it, but like Lord of Fingers, like Lord of, I'm so bad.
No,
we should not be doing a podcast.
No, we should. It's good.
It's good. Oh, it's good.
It's gonna be great. Knuckle bond, knuckle. I don't have bond, knuckle bond.
Mononucleosis.
There we go. No,
that's not as bad as it sounded in my head.
No,
I'm not saying it's good.
I guess I'm really committed to Knucklehead.
Yeah,
and then it being a big like a brain covered in knuckle bones, and it's formed this conduit where it's like sharing skills. What if it's okay? Shit.
Well, what's the nature of it? It is a brain.
It is a brain.
It's a human brain.
It was a human brain. Now it's pretty big. Now it's maybe like the size of a couch.
Right.
And I like this. What if it's just conduits swapping skills between the people who have bonded to it?
Instead of getting the powers?
Instead of it having the powers.
Right.
It's like a conduit, but it's like PayPal. It takes a tax when it swaps. So you think you're like tributing into this thing with all these other like people in this cult where it's like, oh, you have access to the skills of an archer or
right.
And so you like if you're fighting like a cultist, he might start off fighting you like with like wizard powers, and then like halfway through the fight, like Shang Tsung, he's like suddenly using a sword and like fighting completely different. And then like as you get closer and closer, you eventually find this thing, but it's like maybe if you've pledged to this, like your life, you age a lot faster and you don't know why. And it's because when your skills are swapped, it's like taking like it's cut without like making that clear.
Right.
What do you think?
I like it. I want to know like what it was, just like a person who decided to like go into the cloud of other people kind of.
Yeah. Maybe it's like he started as a person just doing this with his brain.
Yeah.
Did it for a long time. The body atrophied, the brain endured. And now it's sustaining itself. Maybe it is like in the astral plane. Maybe there's like, so they're like sending their souls.
So that's like it's either a real person or his body has died, either way. But then it's like there's some real thing, but then the entity itself is this astral entity that is connecting all of these initiates and the entire cult.
Yeah, it's sort of like Twitter. It's like it only exists because of all the people on it.
Right. And if everyone quit,
yeah, there would be nothing connecting. There would be no energy flowing through, and it wouldn't sustain itself.
And so then that seems fun, because then it's like long term as trying to solve, but like you get divide and conquer. It's like we're gonna do a raid on these guys so they don't have any more magic or something.
Yeah, you would have to like try to take out. It's like, you could see the progress, because it's like when you first start like fighting them, they might be like unwinnable fights, because it's like, oh, this guy's a level 10 wizard, level 10, like he's intentionally a super broken character,
right?
But as you like take out their like archers, because they would just have people who just trained all day, and that's what you got to take out their reserves of skilled people so they can't draw on that resource anymore. I like that. I feel like that kind of brings it together.
Yeah, I like this concept. I think it's like a big concept. Like I think like that's the kind of thing that whole worlds would be driven by. Like,
yeah, this is definitely a I'm okay with that.
No, I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
I really like. I'm just trying to frame it for people.
Yeah,
like,
this is kind of a campaign driving monster.
Yeah. So you can use Knuckle in your campaign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any last thoughts on Knuckleheads? Sorry, not Knuckle.
Well, it would be the Knuckle Lord, and then the individuals would be Knuckleheads. And
I
think that makes it work.
Yeah.
Well, I think my closing thoughts would be this kicks ass, and this is my favorite monster yet.
Hell yeah. I definitely like the concept. I can imagine it, and I can also imagine, like...
And you would know them by, like, the thing would be they'd be marked.
Right.
You'd be, like, see...
No fingers.
Yeah,
two fingers.
Yeah, they'd be missing those 2 fingers, and, like... You'd like be on the lookout for people with gloves, and it's like, oh, maybe the first ones you'd have to take out would be like they're illusionists who are all casting like alter self,
and then you can see all the fingers after that. That's so cool.
Yeah,
holy shit,
I fucking love this.
Okay, that's great.
I might use this.
Yeah, let's use it. I mean, it's not the same, but this is very similar to where like my whole like in terms of how it actually plays out in a campaign. That's pretty similar to like how my idea was. But yeah, God,
it would give you a reason to like have them go to fight. Like, oh, this is the master illusionist. You have to go fight that guy first,
right? Like lieutenants would be like,
and they would be themed around their power. It's like, oh, you got to fight their necromancer, because they keep replenishing their ranks. So you would have to keep taking out, and you would be able to see your progress as you're getting stronger, paired with like them getting weaker.
Right.
So it goes from level 1 fighting level 20 to like you average out, and that's where you have your final conflict.
Yeah.
Shit.
That sounds badass. I just final thought on that. I did an Adventure Time one-shot campaign for PaizoCon a couple years ago.
Oh, damn.
And it was like Finn the human and Cake the cat, and I think PB was an alchemist. Anyway.
Oh, that's fun.
It was pretty cool, but the campaign was essentially like they met this guy named Vermithrax, which is another word for appendix, I think, or vermix rather. And it's another word for appendix. And so then he's like, "Hey, help me out." And then he turns into a big appendix, and it's like, what the fuck? And then like they go and fight like a stomach guy, and then they find themselves in the secret chamber of Ricardio, the heart guy.
Oh, neat.
And then at the end they have to kill like the brain lord, and so it's like they're fighting all these big organs that are
Wait a minute.
What?
They fight a bunch of organs.
Yeah.
That's sort of like I mean, I am listening to the early Harmontown stuff, but it's kind of like when they're in the Infinifish. I know that it's different.
Oh yeah.
It's just like I feel like you had a formative organ fighting influence.
The Infinifish was based off of in Saga Frontier. There's a side quest called the Tanzer, where a Tanzer eats the ship you're in, and then you're crashed inside this fish. And the final boss is you have to kill its heart, which is protected by like protective organs. And I just thought that was so cool that like it's a heart, and then it has like these tentacles and shit spraying acid at you because it's like its defenses or something.
Yeah, it's big enough to need.
Yeah,
it can't have microscopic defenses. It needs like a similar thing. That's neat.
Yeah. So I guess that's the end of the podcast, huh?
All right.
More or less. Do you have anything to plug? Any business?
I'm still selling my handwritten tweets if you want one of those.
Awesome.
I think I'll still be selling those when I do this. Those are just fun.
You wouldn't stop if people wanted them, right?
Yeah. No, it's not anymore. Now that I'm not doing, I used to also sell a laminating option.
Oh, right.
And that's initially that was great, because I would be like, oh, 10 people ordered this, and I could just go to the laminating place. But when we got to be like, oh, I got one. This isn't really worth it. So, but now it's just like, oh yeah, I write them on a note card, put them on an envelope, mail.
Right.
They're fun. I think that about covers it. How about you?
At the Sixler.
At Skull Mandible. Sorry.
What else? You can follow us at Master Manual Pod on Twitter, at Master Manual Pod on Instagram,
and we have I think we have a Tumblr.
Do we? Is that?
Let's go ahead and park that now.
Yeah, let's park that. What else? We got a Facebook group. Join our Facebook group. I don't know.
Should we set up a Discord?
I was thinking that we will set up a Discord. Let's say that we haven't yet, but we're planning on setting up a Discord pretty soon. And
by the time you hear this, we will have set it up or decided not to.
Right. And we will have decided to either tell you or not tell you what it is next episode.
Oh, also we'll probably set up a Reddit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of these are just...
Wouldn't you rather have a Discord than a Reddit, though?
Oh, yeah. I just want to make a Reddit so that Not that anyone ever listening to this podcast, not that any of our lovely listeners would ever do this. I just want to go ahead and make the Reddit just so that somebody else doesn't do it and then become like, I'm the lord of this Reddit.
I know.
Dance to my fiddle.
It's not great.
I've seen it happen.
Me too.
All right. Well,
so yeah, that does it. What else? mastermanualpod@gmail.com. If you have any questions, do the subject question.
Yeah, and if we do, you know what? Anything you want to ask about.
Yeah, anything. If you just want to say other stuff, don't use the subject question. Use a different subject or whatever. That way we won't stumble across it when we're searching for questions on the podcast. Let us know what you think. Rate us on iTunes, all that bullshit. I don't want to even plug that, but
but
let us
please do
think.
because it really helps. And we don't pay for advertising, so word of mouth is really great. So
you don't. I'm paying for advertising.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh. You are?
Should we not?
Oh, no, let's do it.
No, just rate and review it. We don't pay for advertising, so just review us.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't pay for advertising.
Oh,
I actually don't. I mean, it's a stupid joke that you get, I hope, but I don't pay for advertising.
Oh,
so
okay.
seriously.
No, I thought maybe.
No,
if you want to share the show with your friends, feel free to do so. That would be great.
Yeah, don't push it too hard, though.
Yeah, I mean,
just maybe suggest it.
I mean, I think the charm of the show is that it's surprisingly fun, even if you're not super into D&D.
I think the charm of the show is bad, and no one wants to listen to it.
Well, eventually we're going to have to outgrow that conspicuous self-deprecation and just accept that people might like those. Okay, all right. Well, I love every single one of you, and I would die for you in the street if you so much as suggested it might make you happy.
Yep, he will.
All right. You have a nice day.
Yeah. And next,
until we roll again,
mastery is fun. I'm changing it up.
Okay. Yeah.